Antony breaks down in tears after leading Real Betis to a historic European final. Manchester United loanee Antony was overcome with emotion after helping Real Betis reach their first ever European final. The Brazilian winger, currently on loan from United, delivered a sensational performance in the UEFA Conference League semi-final against Fiorentina, scoring a stunning free kick and assisting the winning goal in extra time. Betis entered the second leg in Florence with a narrow 2-1 advantage, courtesy of a spectacular volley from Antony in the first leg. However, Fiorentina leveled the aggregate score to 3-3, setting up a tense extra-time battle. With everything on the line, Antony again stepped up, this time curling a brilliant free kick off the post and past former Manchester United teammate David De Gea. Later, he calmly squared the ball for Abde Ezelzouli, who slotted home the decisive goal. As the final whistle blew, Antony fell to his knees overcome with tears. He was later seen crying during a post-match interview, openly discussing the very tough times he endured during his troubled spell at Manchester United. "My family knows what we went through to be here," Antony said. "I have cried a lot with my mother, with my wife, and with my siblings, because we went through very tough times. I am living a dream now." Signed by Manchester United for £86 million in 2022, Antony arrived at Old Trafford with high expectations. Reunited with former Ajax coach Erik ten Hag, the Brazilian was expected to thrive in the Premier League. However, his time in Manchester was marked by inconsistency, injuries, and intense media criticism. Despite occasional flashes of brilliance, he failed to cement his place in the starting 11 and was frequently targeted by pundits and fans alike. Things did not improve under United's next manager, Ruben Amorim. After a string of underwhelming performances, Antony secured a loan move to Real Betis in January 2025, a decision that has since transformed his season and seemingly his career. Since arriving in Seville, the 25-year-old has rediscovered his form, tallying 8 goals and 5 assists in just 21 appearances. That output already surpasses much of his entire Manchester United spell, during which he scored just 12 goals over more than 2 years. Reflecting on his resurgence, Antony shared what has made the difference for him at Betis. "Yes, I'm very happy. I found myself. I needed to find myself and be happy. My family needed to be happy too," he said. "Every day that passes confirms it was the best decision." Antony credited his happiness and improved performance to the cultural familiarity he has found in Seville. "It reminds me a lot of Brazil. The sun, the food, everything. The people are also very warm and happy. That's important for us who come from Brazil and are used to that." He added, "It's important to score goals and provide assists. But for me, what's most important is sleeping peacefully, knowing how I'm doing with myself and being well and happy. Seeing my family smiling is also essential for me." Now a hero in green and white, Antony has etched his name into Betis folklore. The club will face Chelsea in the Conference League final in Wrocław, Poland on May 28th, a fitting stage for Antony to complete his redemption arc. As he looks ahead to the final, the Brazilian winger carries not only the hopes of Betis fans, but also the emotional journey of a player who has endured criticism, doubt, and despair, only to rise again in spectacular fashion. Marcus Rashford eyes Barcelona dream move amid transfer developments. Marcus Rashford's future at Manchester United appears increasingly uncertain, with reports confirming the England international is pushing for a permanent move to Spanish giants, FC Barcelona. The 27-year-old forward, currently on loan at Aston Villa, has reportedly made his final decision about leaving Old Trafford this summer and is working to facilitate a dream switch to the new camp. Rashford, once seen as the poster boy for Manchester United's post-Ferguson rebuild, has experienced a turbulent few seasons. After struggling for form under various managers and falling out of favor with current United boss Ruben Amorim, the club is now open to cashing in on their academy graduate. United's willingness to sell Rashford stems from their desire to raise funds for a major squad overhaul, with several high-profile exits expected in the coming months. Aston Villa had hoped to secure Rashford's services on a permanent basis following his promising loan spell, which included 4 goals and 6 assists. The Birmingham-based club even negotiated a £40 million purchase option as part of the winter loan deal. However, their plans have been disrupted by Rashford's reported desire to play in Spain and his recent injury setback. which will rule him out for the rest of the season. Crucially, Rashford has aligned himself with Israeli super agent Pini Zahavi in a bid to navigate the transfer process. Zahavi's close relationship with Barcelona could play a pivotal role in sealing the move. He represents key figures at the Catalan club, including manager Hansi Flick and striker Robert Lewandowski, and also maintains strong ties with club president Joan Laporta. Barcelona are understood to be interested in bringing Rashford in, especially as they look to strengthen their left flank. With Ansu Fati failing to meet expectations under Flick, the club is searching for a dynamic and proven option on the wing. Rashford, known for his pace, versatility, and ability to operate across the front line, fits that profile perfectly. However, given Barcelona's ongoing financial constraints, a permanent deal may prove difficult unless compromises are made. To help make the move feasible, Rashford has reportedly shown a willingness to reduce his salary demands, demonstrating his determination to join the La Liga side. This move signals a major shift in priorities for Rashford, who previously seemed committed to rebuilding his legacy at United, but now sees a fresh start abroad as the ideal path forward. Although initial talks between Zahavi and Barcelona have centered around a possible loan move, Manchester United are reportedly hesitant to approve another temporary deal. The club would prefer a full transfer that brings in immediate funds, particularly as they look to offload other underperforming players like Antony, who is also enjoying a resurgence away from Old Trafford. The potential departure of Rashford would mark the end of an era at United, where he has been a mainstay since making his debut in 2016. Despite his struggles in recent years, he remains a player with considerable talent and international pedigree. Barcelona's long-standing interest, coupled with Rashford's renewed form at Villa and his connections through Zahavi, makes this transfer saga one to watch closely in the coming weeks. As the summer window approaches, it remains to be seen whether Barcelona can meet United's financial expectations or if a compromise, possibly involving structured payments or add-ons, can be reached. What is clear, however, is that Rashford is determined to make the move happen, and all eyes will be on how this high-profile transfer unfolds. Ruben Amorim confirms Bruno Fernandes is not for sale. Manchester United manager Ruben Amorim has once again made it clear that the club has no intention of selling captain Bruno Fernandes, despite growing interest from top clubs across Europe. Speaking ahead of United's crucial Europa League semi-final second leg against Athletic Bilbao, Amorim reaffirmed the club's commitment to keeping their midfield talisman at Old Trafford. Bruno is a leader, the captain, Amorim stated firmly. It is natural that people want Bruno, but we want to keep him at Manchester United. These comments come amid ongoing speculation linking Fernandes with a potential summer exit, especially in light of United's inconsistent domestic campaign. Despite these rumors, Amorim has remained consistent in his stance, insisting that the Portuguese playmaker remains central to his long-term vision for the team. The 29-year-old midfielder has been a standout performer for United since joining from Sporting CP in January 2020. His leadership, creativity, and knack for scoring crucial goals have made him a fan favorite and a vital figure in the dressing room. Under Amorim's guidance, Fernandes has continued to thrive, playing a key role in the club's impressive European run this season. He is one of the top players of the world, Amorim added, underlining the immense value Fernandes brings both on and off the pitch. Fernandes's influence goes beyond just statistics. His passion, work ethic, and willingness to take responsibility in difficult moments have been key qualities that define his captaincy. Amorim's praise reflects just how important Fernandes is to the current squad, especially as United aim to rebuild and challenge for major honors again. The manager's comments also serve as a message to potential suitors. Bruno Fernandes is not for sale. With a long-term contract in place and the full backing of the club, any move away from Old Trafford appears highly unlikely this summer. As United prepare for what could be a season-defining European night, Amorim's strong backing of his captain sends a clear signal of unity and stability. Bruno Fernandes remains the heart of Manchester United, and according to Amorim, that won't be changing anytime soon. Arsene Wenger urges Europa League rule change amid Manchester United and Tottenham Champions League. Twist. Arsenal legend and current FIFA head of global football development, Arsène Wenger, has called for a rethink of the current Europa League qualification rules, particularly the automatic Champions League berth awarded to the tournament's winner. His comments come as both Manchester United and Tottenham Hotspur, despite underwhelming domestic seasons, are on the brink of reaching the Europa League final. Wenger has questioned the fairness of the rule that allows a team to bypass their poor league form and enter the Champions League simply by winning the Europa League. Speaking to beIN Sports, the former Arsenal manager stated, "No, they should qualify automatically for the Europa League again, but not necessarily for the Champions League, especially when you're in the Premier League, where already 5 teams qualify." His remarks highlight growing concerns over the integrity of the qualification process, especially with the Premier League possibly sending 6 clubs to Europe's elite competition next season. Both United and Spurs have struggled significantly in the 2024-25 Premier League campaign. United currently sit in 15th, with Tottenham just 1 place below in 16th, a stark contrast to their strong performances in European competition. Despite their domestic woes, both clubs have thrived in the Europa League. Manchester United lead Athletic Bilbao 3-0 on aggregate following a commanding first-leg win in Spain. Tottenham, meanwhile, hold a 3-1 advantage over Bodo Glimt, setting up a real possibility of an all-English final in Bilbao on May 21st. The root of Wenger's concern lies in the contrast between domestic failure and potential European reward. In his view, granting Champions League entry to a Europa League winner undermines the qualification earned by consistent league performance. This is especially contentious in a league like the Premier League, which already has substantial representation in the Champions League due to its UEFA coefficient. England has already secured an additional spot for next season's tournament, increasing the number of qualified teams to 5. If either United or Spurs win the Europa League, that number could jump to 6. UEFA introduced the current rule in 2014 to increase the importance and competitiveness of the Europa League. The lure of Champions League qualification was intended to attract stronger teams and boost the tournament's profile. Wenger acknowledges that argument, noting, "People will tell you that to keep the Europa League focused, interesting, and motivated, you need to give them that prize." However, his main concern remains whether it's right to allow teams with disappointing domestic campaigns to leapfrog more consistent sides based solely on knockout performances. As both clubs prepare for their semi-final second legs, the debate is intensifying. With only 3 Premier League games remaining, neither United nor Tottenham is in realistic contention for a top-half finish, let alone a European qualification place through league position. Yet, a Europa League title could hand them a golden ticket to next season's Champions League. Wenger's proposal calls for a review of the current system, suggesting that Europa League winners earn a return to the same competition instead of direct entry into the top-tier tournament. As UEFA continues to evolve its competitions, his comments may well fuel broader discussions about meritocracy, fairness, and the future structure of European football.